welcome back to another video. So over the past 5 or 6 years I've been doing this. So the first 3 years I did this, they were Medium posts, and the last 3 years that I did this, they've been videos, starting with just some very quick montages, and then last year I did a whole explanation video very similar to this one. So I just wanted to reflect on my past year through the resolutions that I made in the year in review video that I did a year ago, and I wanted to kind of frame that in the resolutions that I set forward in that video. First one in particular was about learning new skills. So I wanted to just learn a lot of new skills in 2020. And I feel like that is something that I strive for every single year. And as far as the new skills that I took on in 2020, the first one that I could think of is cycling. So I just started riding fixed gear bikes, and that is a new skill onto itself. But above that, I learned how to build up bikes from scratch. So from scouring Facebook Marketplace and buying a frame and then figuring out how to put together the bottom bracket, the cranks, and everything like that. I slowly learned that process through buying a bunch of bikes, as you may have seen on this channel, up until the point of when I got my last bike, the Affinity. That bike I built from the ground up, so I got all of the parts and I put it all together, and I put that bike all together and I built it up from scratch. So that was a brand new skill that I didn't know before. I had no idea before how to put a bike together. I would just take it to the shop and just let them do everything. But now I've kind of learned all of the parts, and now I know how to build up a bike from scratch. Now, the other big thing that I learned this year was hiking. So before this year, I didn't really do any hiking at all, just maybe some casual things where I just followed my friends. But this year I kind of took it a little bit seriously, and I had that big hiking trip in the fall to Devil's Path, which was a pretty big trip, and that was just a completely new skill. I've never done an overnight camping trip before. I've never carried such a huge hiking pack on me before and take it. Was at 29 miles. That was my first time doing that. So these are just all new skills that I learned in the new year. The other new thing that I picked up was live streaming. Before 2020, I had not recorded a live stream, or didn't know how Twitch or YouTube Live worked that well. But I picked it up, I got some of the equipment, I just started hooking up things together, and now I kind of know how the process works, all the way from figuring out how OBS works, all the way to using Streamlabs and figuring out how all the popular Twitch streamers do, putting the chat on the screen and doing all that stuff. So I picked up all that stuff this year, and me and Jess recorded a bunch of live streams during quarantine in March, April. And then I started experimenting with doing the studio live streams. So that was definitely all stuff that I just picked up, new skills that I picked up this year that I'm probably going to be using moving forward. Now moving on to my second resolution that I set forth, and it was about hitting publish a lot more. So that was kind of my word for 2021. It was the word publish, and I definitely did a lot more of that. Now, when it comes to the YouTube channel, I think in past years I was just so excited last year when I did this year in review that I had published over 15 videos in 2019. Now, when we flash forward over here to 2020, I think I've made over 60 videos this year. So even before I switched over to the vlog format and started counting the episodes, so if you're counting right now, this is episode 50, but that's when I started doing the vlog format. Before this, I had already done 10 videos in 2020 before I started doing the whole vlog format. Having that as my resolution, having it in the back of my head, it really got me to publish a lot more, and that would be the reason why I made so many more videos in 2020 than I ever have in past years. And that leads me to the last resolution that I made last year, and that was trying to get more comfortable being in front of the camera. And I definitely got way more comfortable. So I was just watching my year in review video last year, and I could just tell that, that entire video I had to script that entire thing out, and I was using a teleprompter to read everything, and you could obviously tell. And now I'm just doing this live. Like, I am just completely talking without a script in front of me, just kind of knowing that what I wanted to say and just saying it. And I think that is a huge improvement, a huge thing that I'm proud of, that I'm way more comfortable being in front of the camera and recording myself, and then also seeing myself when I'm editing the videos. And I'm very happy that I'm like way more comfortable talking. I think this year is going to be more about polishing the new skills that I've taken on over the past few years, not just the ones that I learned last year. When I took on new skills, it's almost like, you know, when you're building a table or a woodworking project, you just quickly put that structure together, and if it's got 4 legs and a top, it's a table. But the next level of that is polishing it and making it look nice and really creating a good product. So in all of the new skills that I've taken on, I want 2021 to be about polishing all of them. So what is the next level for me in terms of hiking? What's the next level for me in terms of cycling and building bikes? What's the next level of live streaming? And, you know, where do I take that? And then also photography. I want to revisit photography because I feel like it is that just rough around the edges table, and I just want to polish it up and develop my skills. I feel like there's still a lot more for me to learn in terms of photography. So what does the next level of that look like? As far as my second resolution, so this is going to kind of be like, what is my word for 2021? So like last year it was publish. This year it's going to be about value or creating value. I want 2021 to be about looking at all the things that I've tried out that I actually enjoy doing, and what are some of the things that I could actually bottle up and package and create value for you and for everyone with those things. So when I created As Required, or when I made As Required an LLC, that was just before 2020, and throughout all of 2020, I did not make a single dollar under that business. And that was on purpose. 2020, like I said, was all about experimenting and hitting publish and just trying a bunch of different stuff and just getting stuff out there. Now 2021 is going to be about figuring out what things can I bottle and starting to make a business out of. Now, my last thing, continuing on the thread of being more comfortable in front of the camera, I want to take that up a notch. And it's all part of this, you know, trying to record things in one take. So in my vlog a few days ago, when I took Roz over to the airport, that entire vlog, I recorded all those scenes in one take. Now, when I try to create videos, it ends up being a huge time suck just because of how much time it takes just to record some of the clips. What you don't see is for some of these videos, I'm doing 10 to 20 takes of certain things that I'm talking about. I just want to take being comfortable being in front of the camera up the next level and just starting to do things in one take. And even if I mess up, just knowing that that's something that I could just edit out or fix in post. But that's all because I want to be spending less time producing these, and I want to be recording these videos. I want that process to be less intrusive in the stuff that I'm actually doing. I want this YouTube channel and all the videos that I create to be about doing things and not really in the studio just talking. I want to be taking my camera with me with all the fun things that I'm doing and just recording things as they happen. I don't want to be out skiing or cycling and then having to always stop and tell people to like redo something because I messed up. I just want to get into that habit of like, hey, I'm doing something fun, just hit record, and whatever I capture, and, you know, spending less time trying to get the perfect shot, so to say. So yeah, that is going to be my 2021 resolution. I hope all of you also take the time to reflect on how your year went. I know it wasn't that amazing of a year, but I'm sure there's little parts of it that you might want to highlight, and then also just setting some intentions for the next year. I highly encourage people to do that. I think it's been super helpful for me over the past 5 or 6 years that I've been doing it. Of course, it shouldn't take a new year for you to finally start acting on the thing that you've always been wanting to do, but it's just always a good check-in point for you to just take a minute to stop and reflect on, what you did in that time interval, and celebrate it, and then also move forward. So I highly recommend for all of you to just do your own kind of year in reviews. You don't have to share it with the world. You could, write it down in a journal, or write it down in a blog post, or record a video on your phone, just for you to keep for yourself. But I highly encourage you to do that. I'm excited for 2021, and I'm excited for you guys to see the journey that I'm going through, especially with As Required, as I try to turn it into some sort of business. So please consider subscribing if you aren't already. But otherwise, hope you all have a happy new year, and I will see you right at the start of 2021, where I have some plans for a couple really cool videos that I think you'll all be excited for. So I will catch you in those videos soon. Peace.